fade on that.
It's fine. Just keep going. Go with it.
It's news time. News time, everyone. Welcome.
News o'clock.
Welcome to News O'Clock. Welcome to Kanpai News. Glory to Newskind. Welcome to Kanpai News for the week commencing 5th of February, 2023. That's the second time I've gotten that right. Nobody needs to know about that. Anyway, shall we get into it? I'm joined as always. I am Nasuth. I'm joined as always by Xenogelion and Thaylien. Thaylien will be a regular part of the news from here on out. So, thank you. I guess that's the first part of the news. Is thank you, Thaylien.
Yeah. I'm missing Laws already, but he has decided to take a step back for a bit, mostly for his mental health, because dealing with Xeno for too long is, a little bit iffy. We're not cloning him this time, are we? No. Okay.
No, not this time. No. We've learned our lesson from watching Witch of Mercury. Shall we get into
which from Mercury?
Which from Mercury? Which of Mercury? Which from Mercury?
Oh fuck.
Which for Mercury?
Which from Soft? Shall we get into
it? Moving on. Let's start the news.
Right, so the official Seven Deadly Sins Twitter account announced that Telecom Animation Film will be producing an anime adaptation of Seven Deadly Sins for Knights of the Apocalypse. The sequel series is scheduled for a release sometime in 2023, and if I were to guess, probably autumn or winter. Wait, no, winter would be 2024. No, we just had winter. Yes.
Summer or autumn.
Summer or autumn, yes. And the protagonist Percival will be voiced by Sho Komura. I'm not sure what else they've done. Does it say in here? I don't know.
Well, you're on the wrong thing to begin with.
That is the wrong
thing to begin with.
That is the wrong thing.
That's one of his research texts.
Probably up here, right?
Okay. No. We'll never know. No one will ever know. There he is.
Oh, voice protagonist doesn't say anything. Okay. Well, there you go.
We'll never know.
Kodansha recently released the manga's 10th compilation volume on January 17th.
Fun times.
Fans of Seven Deadly Sins look forward to. Why does this art style remind me of Akira Toriyama?
I have no idea. It does not.
It does.
No.
It's the nose and the eyes and the ears. Anyway.
It's the facial features.
The facial features. Thaylien.
Alright. So, last year, Netflix partnered with WIT Studio to create what they called WIT Animators Academy, in an effort to alleviate the lack of manpower in the anime industry. Now they're venturing in a different direction by producing a short titled The Dog and the Boy that uses algorithm-generated backgrounds based on concept art with minimal final touch-ups. The concept art comes from the Netflix Anime Creators Base, which is founded to help creators develop background art, but all backgrounds are credited as AI plus human, with no credit given to the concept or touch-up artists. The algorithm is credited to the Rinna AI company, with WIT and Production IG credited for the production support. The short is available on Netflix YouTube channel. Just be aware that you may end up crying from that one.
It is actually very, very sweet. I'm not going to play the whole thing, obviously, but the backgrounds are not too bad, really.
I kind of just worry about this as a concept of going through more AI generation, especially with the lack of accreditation to any of the original artists. But at the same time, if it's all made for the purpose, and the artists go into it knowing that they're going to be creating
background designer AI
this,
plus human.
Yeah, as long as all the artists get paid for their work in the first place, then sure, using them for generating backgrounds from in the future, I don't really think there's too much wrong with that.
Agreed.
But who knows? There are certain law cases coming up in the public sphere that could be instrumental in like codifying how that is handled in the future.
Oh, jeez, you're giving me this one. Okay, right.
Oh yeah.
With Crunchyroll's announcement for of the dub for Witch from Mercury, Twitter users took to their keyboards to argue over the issue of representation when it comes to Suletta's role. Because of her family's name in the prologue episode... Her father's name in the prologue episode, Nadim Samaya, sorry. Many believe the character is meant to be Middle Eastern or North African, shortened to MENA. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Many other voice actors also retweeted a statement from
Nasuth Tarsha?
Okay. Who will be playing the role of
Lord O'Neill.
Who's Lord O'Neill?
That's I don't think I have an image open for that, but that's the younger brother of the Jenner house with the bluer hair.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Part of the controversy also deals with Crunchyroll's return to in-person recording in Texas, rather than online recordings due to COVID, with some claiming that this reduces the amount of minority talent available.
Minorities in Texas? Oh, who would have thought?
But minority talent specifically. Yeah. But I mean, I get the desire to have an in-person studio like that, because you can't guarantee, unless people have built an actual sound booth in their homes, which a lot of people can't for whatever reason.
A lot of these actors have, right? They had to for COVID reasons.
That is
right.
True.
It's like, because voice actors needed to basically step up their game because they couldn't do this stuff in person, and they still needed to work during the pandemic. They had to step up the game, and they had to turn a room into, like, some of the voice actors and actresses that we know have had to do this, right? Like, so genuinely, I have a problem with this, right? Because Suletta isn't, like, maybe you could argue she is of Middle Eastern descent, but she's from fucking Mercury.
Yeah, I know,
right?
I know, it's so stupid.
So
she's from another planet.
It comes with that thing that I had a cousin at one point claiming that a friend of hers kid wasn't the friend of hers kid's father wasn't British because the kid didn't start growing up with an English accent when they live in America. Like, of course he wouldn't grow up with an English accent.
Yeah.
It's like, America.
I mean,
you grow up with the accent of the people around you.
But no, exactly. But that's not even true though, right? I hate to call you out on that, but like, I grew up in Wales.
Combination accent.
No, but I grew up in Wales for 20 years of my life, right? And I developed a very Kent accent because that's where my mum's from. She was the one that I spent the majority of my life with. She was the one that I, mimicked the majority of the time in terms of talking. That's the accent I developed.
Yeah.
Right?
I grew up in Arkansas, but since I was 4, but my mom and dad are from the Midwest, so I have a very strong Midwest accent with a very little twang.
I can't talk in that sense because I had to get elocution lessons to have my own accent right now.
Yeah. So it's like...
But even then, you grow up around... You get a lot of it from the people you're used to, because I've watched...
Yeah, I still picked up some twang.
Friends of mine like moved down to Bristol, and their kids started talking in Bristol accents because that's who they were around at school. Even though they had parents that spoke in like heavy Dorset, they still picked up the accents of the people around them very quickly, especially kids.
Yep.
It's different. Like, but even so, like, why didn't she have a Mercurian accent? Because one doesn't exist, right?
Exactly.
So
this is why the argument's a little bit moot, because they can give her an accent of anyone they like and have it be the Mercury accent.
Yeah.
Yep,
I mean, a big point is, if you want proper representation for, voice actors and characters and things, a brilliant one is why wasn't Kratos played by a Greek?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Throughout all the games, Kratos' voice actor has never been Greek. But that's not a problem. Why is this suddenly a problem? There was also more concern about the sexual orientation of the characters as well. And
this is from a deleted tweet. It is very disappointing that despite the resources publicly available to find diverse talent, minority voice actors still cannot have the opportunity to represent themselves for an extremely rare, groundbreaking minority lead role in anime, especially a Mina queer lead. Mina queer lead. Yep.
Right, but yeah. again, right? We're talking Mercurian, right?
Yeah.
That it doesn't. You are. Mm-hmm.
We're also talking a universe where this is perfectly commonplace and normal.
But again, we're talking about a setting where the sexual orientation isn't seen as a big thing. They barely discuss it in the entire series.
Yeah. It's just perfectly normal and unremarkable in that setting, which is great.
Which is, the kind of representation that's needed is to have it be absolutely normal.
Yeah, that's the very definition of normalizing something. Yeah, I mean,
hell, Xeno, do you remember the back when the British Olympics were happening? We had that very, very English surname of Christine Ohugaru running for one of the British teams on the track and field. I think it was 400 meters or something. And she spoke completely and utterly East London.
Right.
So surnames, because people travel around a lot in humanity.
Yep. I mean, absolutely
I don't see what these people's argument is.
Yeah.
It's the thing that most upsets me is the fact that I know voice actresses that now can, because of this argument, can no longer apply for that role, and they'd be great for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that yes, when somebody is clearly of a particular ethnic background and they're supposed to be, then correct casting needs to be done. So if you're, which is why the live-action Avatar movie was so bad.
Like, if she's actually from the Middle East on Earth, then yeah, sure.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
She's from Mercury in the year 23, whatever. I don't know.
Anyway, I think we can argue blue in the face.
War was beginning.
Yeah,
War
exactly.
Declared. Sorry.
Well,
I think we can.
I love about a lot of the future settings is like China takes over the world essentially, right? And so a lot of people will end up looking more white, but still have Chinese names because they've just sort of mixed together. It's just one of those things that happened over time.
Recently, they had the whole thing with Disney releasing Big Hero 6. Not recently, but more recently, and they had San Francisco because Tokyo and San Francisco merged to give that clash of cultures.
It's great. It's great. So, anyway, you're right, Zena. We should move on.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this Star Wars Day, May the 4th, brings us Volume 2 of Star Wars Visions. But this time, instead of only featuring Japanese animation studios, they will have 9 shorts from studios around the world. The list includes
Is that Aardman?
What?
Oh, yeah.
It's
Aardman. It's going to be stop motion.
We've got The Pit by Dart Staijo. and Lucasfilm. I assume that's some French company. I don't know. Sith by El Guiri from Spain. Screechers Reach by Cartoon Saloon from Ireland. In the Stars by Punk Robot from Chile. I Am Your Mother by Ardman from the UK. Journey of the Dark Head by Studio Mir from South Korea. The Spy Dancer by Studio La Cachette from France. The Bandits of Golak by 88 Pictures from India. And Owl's Song by Triggerfish from South Africa. I honestly think this is amazing.
Ardman is the claymation.
They do all Wallace and Gromit.
And Creature Comforts and all of that.
I see. Right, that company.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, I for one cannot wait. This looks like an amazing lineup.
I would love to see a Star Wars short in claymation stop motion style.
What?
But look at the name. The name is I Am Your Mother. It's going to be a parody.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I love this concept.
What was the reason behind pushing away from the whole Japanese side of things?
I think they just want to explore more interpretations from other places. I don't see why it has to be limited to Japan.
Because animation isn't just Japanese, and Star Wars definitely isn't just Japanese. Having more of the Western studios in might give us even better takes on things. Because we had some really good ones in the old visions, like The Village and things like that. It was stunning in some of them. But at the same time, some of them, like dear old Trigger, getting in there with the absolutely hyper Japanese style, it's kind of silly.
Oh yeah, I mean, Xeno didn't like the Science Saru one, and
I thought that was the one I did like. Science Saru one was the one that did The Village, didn't they? No, sorry, the
No, it was Geno Studios,
not The Village. No, it was not The Village. The
Science Saru did Toby, I thought.
The Bride, something Bride.
Oh, that's The Bride. Yeah, it's The Bride.
Science Saru did that one. That was the one that I really, really liked. I was just like, holy crap, that's really good. That's the one. One of the few ones that I did like. I'm going to be honest, I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. The only studio I really care about is Ardman.
Well, it's because you don't know any of the other ones.
No, I do. I know Studio Mia, right? They do a lot of the crap. They did all the Castlevania stuff, right? They've done Blood of Zeus.
Yep. So
Studio Mia is not in here?
Yes, it is. Journey to the Dark Head by Studio Mir from South Korea. Down there.
Oh, Mir! I thought you said Mia.
M-I-R.
No, Mia.
So I also know Triggerfish from South Africa, but I can't name a lot of their stuff. I'm interested to see what they do.
I know. I'm kind of. I hate to be that guy, but I'm kind of dubious as to why. I'm too skeptical of everything Disney are doing these days.
That's fair. But this is Lucasfilm, not Disney.
Shut up.
No, I'm still interested to see what other, because we've had the Japanese interpretation of Star Wars. It was great. I wouldn't mind seeing more of it, but I'm also interested in how other places interpret it. So I'm all right with this.
You're also wondering, like, how much is this Disney just throwing money down the toilet because... Yeah. Moving on.
I definitely want to say that Darth Vader is still best Disney princess.
Lol. Thaylien.
In our continuing segment of Oh God, make it stop, make it end, we once again feature Evangelion. In the past, we talked about the upcoming stage production Evangelion Beyond, which will premiere in the same location as a former movie theatre where one of the movies aired. But there are new details about the story. It's confirmed that the stage play will tell an all-new story. In this version, the world has been in a period of unchecked development and strife that has brought it to the brink of ruin. The Evangelion units, still piloted by 14-year-olds, are operating under the supreme commander of the special agency Mensch. and they are humanity's last hope to find a powerful new energy source that will solve humanity's problems. In their way, instead of angels from the sky, are ikimono, giant creatures that come up from underground. Well, they couldn't come up from the sea because that was Pacific Rim. One of the play's lead actors said that despite these changes, the production keeps to the original themes of divinity, humanity, conflict, aggression, destruction, and rebirth. Which is odd because divinity is thrown in by them because it looks cool.
Here are your actors, by the way. I assume these are the pilots, and this is our Supreme Commander.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
God, I can't. I love Ava, but I can't even with this. Like, what are they doing?
You can't. Avon?
I can't even.
Right.
Let's swiftly move on to something
Okay,
else.
so the official Twitter account for Final Fantasy VII announced that the Japanese Anniversary Association, which documents dates of cultural significance, has officially recognized January 31st as Final Fantasy VII Day. In honor of the game's original release date of January 31st, 1997, the game's director, Yoshinori Kitase, remarked that he was overwhelmed at the speedy evolution of the game's technology since those days.
Yeah, game technology has come a long, long way.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Although you can still grind up in Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core to one-tap Sephiroth with a magical punch.
Of course. I would also say this marked one of the major, Final Fantasy VII marked one of the major changes in video game technology when people were really paying attention and like, oh my god, look what we can do. Look what they did with this. You know, you had some
4 discs.
So many discs.
So many discs. So many.
Actually, do you know why basically the first disc is just one area of the entire game?
I assume it loads a lot of stuff into memory for the other discs.
It's because of the sprites that were effectively the environment of Midgar, right?
Oh.
It was because originally the game was designed to be on was it the SNES? But then they stopped development partway through, and then they transformed it to play on the PlayStation instead. And basically, all the background environments or everything are still sprite-rendered graphics that basically have a layer of 3D on top where they transpose a map to make the models look like they're interacting. Yeah, it's so basically it was a hodgepodge of technology.
Interesting.
It's why a lot more of. It's why a lot more of the environments end up having like just 1 or 2 locations, as opposed to Midgar, which had like a truck ton of locations.
Yeah, it did. Right. So on to another interesting story. Japanese authorities are working to break a ring of thieves operating under the leadership of an individual only known by the alias Luffy. According to the police, this group is suspected of performing a string of burglaries across 14 prefectures since last year, with one of the robberies ending in the murder of Io Oshio, a 90-year-old woman in Kamai, Tokyo. Police have made arrests in each case, and they found that many of the suspects were receiving instructions from Luffy over the Telegram Messenger app, making it difficult to trace his or her location any further than somewhere in the Philippines. However, Philippine authorities are prepared to hand over 4 suspects, one of whom is believed to be the mysterious ringleader.
I was gonna say, isn't it Luffy, not Luffy?
Luffy,
yeah.
Laffa,
But if it's resulted in the death of somebody, that name needs to be changed right now. I'm not having that.
Yeah, he's definitely not. He's definitely not part of the ship, part of the crew.
Isn't the president of the Philippines some kind of nasty person? I last recall. So I'm not so sure they would have captured the actual person, because they're the kind of people that would actually just say, "Oh no, we're just going to grab this random person that we think is the criminal. We're going to say they are."
Maybe.
Anywho,
they do say they plan to hold one of them over a separate criminal case. So.
Yeah.
Wow, an actual criminal ring. That's crazy.
Yeah. 14 prefectures?
14 prefectures.
Yeah.
We don't know how many
string of burglaries.
Yeah. Anyway, swiftly onwards to Thaylien.
So, IGN reported earlier this week that Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo will be absent from E3's presentation lineup, according to multiple knowledgeable sources. Xbox has announced that it will be hosting its own showcase in LA around the time of E3, while Nintendo and PlayStation will host their own showcases like Nintendo Direct. Also, according to IGN, the companies won't even have a presence on the convention show floor.
Yeah, so not only will they not be presenting.
Yeah,
I think COVID really hit them hard.
It did, and also they found that they didn't need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Consistently finding they don't need E3 to announce their technology.
Like
not the games.
A part of me is just like, can we? I get like, okay, fine, E3 and everything, but could we actually just have one central digital event and not everyone and their dog spinning up their own separate events?
No.
As long as they don't
have your brand loyalty.
I don't mind.
You gotta have your brand recognition and your brand loyalty.
Yeah, because brand loyalty is a real thing.
Yeah.
As I say, as long as they don't compete with each other, say.
Well, it sounds like Xbox wants to.
No, but I mean, like, for time slots.
Okay.
Because I don't want to have to start getting the same thing as we had with old TV channels.
Where you start DVRing another channel while watching the one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Moving on. Discotech announced that they have licensed a massive list of classic and modern titles for release, many of which will use new scans of the original negatives or advanced upscaling to bring them to Blu-ray quality and many with the new voice work and first-time dubs. The list includes Iria, Zerum the Animation OVA from 1994, A Wind Named Amnesia from 1990. Nasuth had a peek at this and it looks awesome. Cutie Honey OVA from 2004. Oh, Cutie Honey. Okay. Lupin the Third, Angel Tactics from 2005. Kamen Rider Black RX from 1988. I think that's one of the first Kamen Riders. Magical Girl Lyrical Nanaha Reflection from 2017. Aim for the Ace, the movie from 1979. Saber Rider and the Star Sheriffs.
Oh, wow. Have you not? Okay.
I think I have, actually. That's just brought back a flashback. Anyway. Saber Rider and the Star Sheriffs from 1984 and many more.
That's before Xena was born.
I am stupid excited for this because, oh my god. Especially Iria, because that is one of my favorites of all time. And getting it as they're getting original scans from the film to give us a 2K release. Right. So
okay. Moving on.
Moving on swiftly to, in a follow-up to our story about the upcoming Gamera Rebirth project announced during last year's Godzilla's Day, a new trailer has been released confirming rumors of the animated format. It also confirmed a 6-episode run featuring 5 kaiju fights, with a visual showing one of them to be Gaios. Gaios? I don't know how to say that. I wish Guy was here, she would know how to say that. But honestly, never forget, Gamera is friend to children.
Yep. Gamera.
That's another one that I'm pretty excited for.
Yeah, it should be fun. So that's moving on to me. Crunchyroll is delaying the dubs of several winter animes due to weather in the Dallas area where the series are being dubbed. Animes delayed include Revenger, Fruit of Evolution Season 2, Blue Lock, My Hero Academia, Xeno's favourite.
Favorite.
Trigun Stampede.
Why didn't you put that next to Fruit of Evolution 2?
I didn't write this.
'Cause it's my favourite.
Oh.
And Trigun Stampede, Handyman Saito in Another World, Vinland Saga, and Mobile Suit Gundam The Witch to and from Mercury,
Oh my
among
God.
others. Also facing trouble is the current season's Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, which announced that the show's staff is delaying all episodes past episode 6 due to COVID. I was actually starting to watch that one. The anime will re-air from the beginning sometime in April.
Oh, at least you've got that. I mean, we don't know when Nier Automata's getting a bloody release.
I know.
And we still don't know when the last episode of Uncle from Another World is coming back.
Oh, Lord.
Also, can I ask, as a geographically inept Englishman, is Dallas in Texas?
Dallas is in Texas. It is actually not. It's about 4 or 5 hours away from where I am.
Right.
Which, as we've seen from Nasuth's consistent updates on his weather reports, there have been some rather fun ice storms coming over the top of him.
I mean,
So-
all that should be cleared up by now, but I mean, obviously, it put delays in,
All of
especially
that
since
should
Crunchyroll started recording in Texas again just recently. So yeah.
I mean, a large part of me
Yeah.
is just like, well, I mean, maybe if you just let people record from their own homes. I mean, you
weird
know.
how that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like that bit you in the
Maybe you
ass.
could do both.
Yeah.
You know, you could let people record from home or come into the studio. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
can we go to the next story? Because I just started reading it.
Yes, we can.
Right,
Tito.
okay.
Yes,
okay.
we can.
In our continued coverage of the Tokyo Olympics bribery scandal, when we last left our story, investigators were looking into investments firm Aoi Holdings.
Aoki.
Aoi Holdings. On February 1st, formal charges were brought against its former executives Katsuhisa Ueda. I read that by myself. And brothers Hinori and Takahashi Aoki. What?
Hironori and Takahisa.
Yep.
What did I say?
Takahashi.
Oh, fuck that. Alleging they gave 28 million yen, which is about $215,000 in bribes to former members of the Olympics Committee Haruyuki Takahashi.
Nice.
Authorities are seeking. Sorry, I thought there was going to be more names. So it's just the one. Authorities are seeking a 30-month sentence for Hironori, 18 months for Takahashi, and 1 year for Katsuhisa. Katsuhisa?
Yeah.
Ueda. Right. In the wake of these charges, officials from Dentsu, whom Takahashi has deep ties with, were the advertising company at the center of the scandal admitted to rigging bids for contracts for the Tokyo Olympics, but only went as far as admitting to ones related to the test events. This was brought up during a voluntary questioning with prosecutors from the Tokyo District Public Prosecutor's Office. They also mentioned that they were unaware it was illegal to do so.
Yep.
Ignorance of the law does not stop you from being charged for it.
Yep. Well, at least not here. I don't know about there.
I mean, tell that to Goku.
Always remember, Team 4-Star Goku is not the same as regular Goku.
Yeah, he's better.
That is the wrong one again.
He's funnier, but...
Yeah, this story, Takahashi's been arrested 4 times now on suspicion of accepting bribes.
Suspicion of accepting bribes.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So, basically, 9 companies, including 6 that have been searched already, won the bids. The total value of the contract signed related to the test and actual events is over 20 billion yen. around 144 million US dollars. Investigators are looking into possible collusion between the companies to decide in advance which companies would win bids. Which, yeah, it's just straight up insider trading to win bids for the Olympics. It's
that's
so
not
blatant.
That's not insider trading, but
well, no, it's
similar.
Kind of,
yeah,
it's rigging the bids for their business, which is technically what insider trading is.
No, there's a
where
term
you can collude to actually rig the pricings of things that you're going to get.
Yeah, there is a term where basically multiple companies can work together to
is it unjust
basically
enrichment?
set the. It might be actually, because there was a thing years ago where LG, Toshiba, Sony, and a bunch of other TV manufacturers were fined in Europe because they were doing this. They were setting their prices to have a unreasonable profit margin on them, and they were basically all colluding together to push the prices of TVs up. And then all of a sudden, the cost of TVs just shot right down.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Yeah, which is why I have my TV.
I think that's one of the times I got the TV as well. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Right.
Nice.
So I think we're done now, aren't we?
That is it for the news. So, make sure to stay tuned later this week for Kanpai Cast, where Thaylien gave us a very interesting task to do this week, and it was honestly quite a lot of fun.
Yep. First time into the cast more officially, so we did something a little fun. I think we can all appreciate.
Yeah, I need to get back to my homework.
Yep. All right, get you all next week. Have a great week, and remember to Kanpai.
Kanpai.
We said that for the other show, though.
Don't
forget to news.